What do you think about Elon Musk wanting to colonize Mars? Is this something you find an interesting or a aimless pursuit?
I think it's a must or a salvation. We need to leave at some point the planet because historically in the past, we know that we've been bombarded by asteroid, volcano. There are crazy things happen here. It's very unstable. You know, if you look at it through a lifetime of a human being, it's nothing. But just look 12,000 years ago, what happened, you know? So there is cataclysm that happen all the time. It's very unstable. So if we want to survive as a species, I think we need to get out, to be able to get out and spread our seeds.
So these are the early steps on a really long journey. But is there something about like, you know, we don't get that exploration from most of modern society. You know, the kind of exploring that people did throughout the centuries of, you know, coming to the North America, throughout, we were shrouded in physical uncertainty of what's out there. And now we get to do the same kind of exploration with Mars. Is there any aspect of you that wants to travel out to space, that wants to travel to Mars? There, you know, the goal is to allow civilians to travel, perhaps in our lifetime, meaning affordably. You can do so now unaffordably.
Traveling to space and traveling to Mars are two different things. I think I would like to travel into space. I don't know if I would like to travel all the way to Mars.
Because of the risks involved?
Just because.
Boring? Is there some part of you that enjoys
I think that if I was like towards the end of my life, I would like to travel to Mars.
Because it would be nice to die on Mars.
Just for the experience, yeah. But if I go to Mars, I'm not coming back. Like, that's it.
One-way ticket. Maybe with the technology we have now, maybe in the future, maybe the children of our children will be able to experience that, to go to the weekend on Mars.
Well, the whole design of the Starship that the SpaceX is working on is supposed to come back. It's supposed to be reusable, so it's not a one-way ticket. That's the whole point. It's always going back and forth, back and forth.
What's the time frame between two planets, like to travel from?
I think the current thing, you'd be stuck on Mars for 2 years.
But how long does it take to get from Earth to Mars?
Oh, it's pretty. I'm not exactly sure, but it's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick.
Like, I don't know, on the scale of months, not scale of years.
You might not be healthy when you come back. You know, all the astronauts, they experience health issues. You know, they lose a lot of muscle mass, bone density. So,
yeah,
I don't think the technology is good right now. I mean,
let's say that
if it is, I would love to be doing it for a weekend. If it's safe, I would love to be the first one to hey.
For a professional fighter who sacrifices his body for something. So there's some sacrifice we do in life, right?
I don't want to be the first. I wouldn't want to. I leave the other one, but when I know it's safe, okay, count me in.
So one of the things that people say, and this is something I wonder about, is it's like having children or something. Once you're out in space and you look out and you see Earth, you look back at Earth, that's an experience that's unlike anything else. Like, you can't replicate it here. Is to look back at that like blue dot, and that
really nerve-wracking.
Oh,
like
shit!
You see like Earth disappear into the distance.
Yeah, disappear into the distance, and then you get to actually stand on Mars and see, and just to look. You're standing on the ground and you're looking out, and you see the planet from which you came and where you might not be coming back. But there's a challenge to the whole thing, where the risk is tremendous, and I don't know. I find that risk really compelling for some reason, but that could be just the exploration. I guess that's a genetic thing too. How much do you want to explore?
there's a sense, though, in which even in the best case scenario where they did get the technology to whisk you to Mars in a fairly short period of time, it's kind of an inauthentic sense of exploration, because your participation in it is no more exciting than your participation in an airline flight to a foreign country. You're basically, you didn't have anything to do with the creation of the vessel. You're not in command of the vessel. You're not in any way, shape, or form important to the mission. You're just a person sitting in a passenger seat, and you get off in a destination the same way you would if you flew to Singapore or London or someplace like that.
Well, there's a hierarchy of, there's a leadership, and then there's a bunch of people, and they all have roles. You don't get to go to Mars without having some skill set to
But if
contribute.
you made it sound like space tourism, where you just pay a ticket.
I think it's a long time before you have space tourism to Mars where you have nothing to contribute.
Okay.
Like you will have to.
So what do? You go through like a training program? You go
training program, and then there's technical things you'll be contributing. So they would bring people, in terms of agriculture. I don't know.
Okay, so this is better. This sounds like they're more like explorers. Like if you talked before about explorers in human history, where Magellan sets off on his boat, and every person on the boat had a specific function. They were all into the mission in a very authentic fashion. If they weren't on the boat, the performance of the crew would somehow suffer. So this sounds much better.
And with Magellan, I think most of the crew died.
A significant number did, yeah.